about here, looking out this window. So this is the game plan. They haven't started this, but there's going to be more tables over here. But this will be this whole pavilion, literally right out here.
Yeah.
Now, where are you swimming?
They got some swimming.
Paddle boat, swimming.
Yeah. A little swim contest there.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to put in a swim lane for me.
Yes, we did that one time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
We had to go out.
All right. I guess that'll be starting soon. So, market. Y'all got my email, 15 contracts in yesterday. That's pretty strong business. Again, we really hadn't even started the big part of the year. I mean, April, May, June, July, definitely the heart of the order in this business. So it's just cool that we're already hitting those numbers and not even April yet, which is awesome. Daylight savings, loving it. Getting a little used to it. Still a little dark in the morning when I leave, but loving the evening. You should like it as realtors. You have an extra hour. Most people are going to look after hours, after work or weekends, so this gives you another hour of sunlight, which is awesome. All right, so let's start out with our culture committee. They have a lot of announcements, actually. We got Red Day coming up. We actually have a massive auction coming up. So,
Good morning, everybody. Wow,
Good morning.
Good morning. So, for anybody who is not familiar with the Culture Committee, we are part of the Culture Committee here at your KW office, Atlanta Perimeter.
Y'all move to the center, please.
Oh, she turned it off. I was like, I can't see over there.
You get on the other side of you.
Okay. We are in charge of Red Day activity every year, which is, you want to say what Red Day is?
Sure, it's when we give back to the community.
Correct.
It's Mo's birthday.
From all over the country.
Every office, all over the country, all over the world. This year it's May 9th, and we will be working at the home of a veteran, a Navy veteran, right? He's Navy?
Yep.
Down in Fayetteville. So please mark your calendars for May 9th. We're going to be doing painting, outdoor landscaping, planting of flowers and shrubs. We're going to be changing a couple light fixtures. If we've got handymen, we'll take you for ceiling fans and light fixtures. So to that end, landscaping. Yep.
We got Jake for that.
Painting. So to that end, we're having our second and final fundraiser for that day. Our goal is to raise $5,000 for Red Day. So on April 11th, please mark your calendars. It's a Thursday, right outside in the atrium here, in that cool new atrium where there's shuffleboard and a little putting green. We're going to be doing a bourbon, beer, and barbecue event.
Wow, good. Time?
Yes.
5 to 8 p.m.
Good.
It's going to be awesome, folks. You know, we're going to have it set up where we're going to have a lot of fun out there. Have it decorated. We're going to have stations where you're going to have different flights of bourbon. And all the proceeds is going towards this, deserving veteran. We're going to have barbecue that's going to be catered from Williams Brothers Barbecue. And we're going to have a little variation between pork and chicken. And some of you like some grilled vegetables, we have that as well. Trying to cover the whole basis there. And then, And then we're going to have craft beer, local craft beer from a local brewery. Yep. So everything is going to be bringing, the local atmosphere. And we're trying to do that to have a festive event for this worthy cause.
And it's easy to fund this thing because you can donate at a closing. Please remember when you do your green sheet, just Red Day is an option there. Any amounts are welcome, and then obviously you see one of us around the office and you can cut a check. That'll work too.
So that's the 11th at what time?
5 to 11.
Which one? May 11th?
No, April 11th.
April 11th. That's going to be from what, 5
to 8?
5 to 8.
Yep.
And right out front, so it's very convenient.
And also, I believe we're going to have bourbon tastings.
Yes.
So, flight of 5 or 25.
Are you selling it? I missed that part. Are you selling a ticket or?
No, we're not selling tickets, but we're asking everyone to participate. So if you like bourbon, you know, you can donate in that area. Obviously, you can donate, you know, through individual cause. We're going to give something on your green sheet or a check or something like that. But we're not going to sell tickets, really. So we're going to have
Just
a lot.
donate.
want participation.
Yes.
We just want
Exactly.
everyone to go.
Yep. Great.
Everybody lubed up.
And we'll also have a donation card that night. If for some reason you forgot your checkbook, we'll have a little donation card that says, I agree to donate X amount. And then we can add it to your office bill if you want us to. You can cut a check, or like we said, you can put it on your green sheet. Anything, oh, and the biggest news for that night is that you've noticed that we're doing a renovation in the office. There will be artwork, tables, chairs.
So almost everything that used to be in this office will be auctioned. So we're getting all
For
new
you to
conference
buy.
rooms.
Silent auction.
Silent auction.
Oh, great.
Absolute. So
Wow.
So if y'all will move that way, we'll kind of move down that way a little bit. We're gonna, all this stuff will be auctioned, okay? And we're gonna send you this soon so you can start looking around the office at this stuff. But you know, just like if you ever been to a silent auction where, you know, it starts at 5, the final bid at 8 gets it, okay? But
Artwork, tables, chairs.
Cassos.
Are the proceeds
tables.
going to Red
I mean,
Day?
beautiful
yeah,
stuff.
it's all going to Red Day.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Every
Very
bit of
nice.
it.
Knickknacks,
Brett
lamps.
card, yes.
Okay? So we'll send you this and you can start, you know, you have your eye on stuff, but most of us have done this at events where, you know, you can keep going back to a sheet and up the bid, that sort of thing. Okay?
And all of that proceeds, whether we make $200 or $2,000 from that, all of it's gonna go to the Red Day Project. So please come and look at those things as well, yeah.
Yep. All at the same time while you're drinking bourbon.
That's right, and beer, and have a barbecue.
All right, thank you.
T-shirts this year for Red Day?
Say that again?
T-shirts this year for Red Day?
T-shirts?
T-shirts.
T-shirts, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have t-shirts on Red Day. Yeah, it'll be a Red Day.
We pre-ordering?
Nope, we'll just have a big box of them, and when you get there, you get one.
Yep. Okay, so we have a new vendor today, Mill Creek Environment. Kind of small world. I didn't know this till they walked in today, but I didn't realize who they were. So I was actually standing on a beach 2 Mays ago at Connor's wedding. If you all know Mike and Brenda Martin, who have been with the company a long time and good friends of mine, Connor's now their son-in-law. So I was like, what are you doing here? So anyway, come up and tell us great breakfast and tell us what you do.
Good morning. I'm Rich Fanning. I'm the president of Mill Creek Environmental. We are a small boutique environmental consulting company. This is my younger brother, Connor Fanning, much younger, who did get married a couple of years ago. Thank you for letting us crash real quickly here. We just wanted to give you a little information about what we do. We are a full-service environmental company, so we do lots of things in the community, in the state, and actually the entire East Coast. We do phase 1s and phase 2s, UST removals or underground storage tank removals and closures, but we also do indoor air quality stuff, and we think that's something that maybe be pertinent to what you do every day. We wanted to share that information with you, so if there's a chance you need us, pick up the phone and give us a holler. We'll be there quickly. Connor runs the home services division of the business, which includes the indoor air quality stuff. I'm going to ask him real quickly to tell you a little bit about what we do when it comes to indoor air quality.
Morning. We do the indoor air quality, which includes mold, radon, lead-based paint, and asbestos. And then we also do stucco and stone inspections. We work with a lot of realtors. We know all about due diligence, needing things to get done quickly. So we work with your timeline in order to get those things done. We've been in business for over 20 years now. We work with we have a team, so we're readily available to do what you need when you need it.
Yeah, our team consists of about 25 people. Again, we're domiciled here, so we can be on site quickly, typically 2 to 4 days to get into a location, do the inspection, and give you the results. So we're just looking for an opportunity to earn your business. We understand being a preferred vendor does nothing more than open that door for us. and we've got to earn your business every day with every engagement, and we're willing to do that.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Do you just do the inspection and not the remediation, or do you both?
We do just the inspection.
Just the inspection?
Yeah.
And we write a remediation protocol, so we'll write what needs to be done so your remediator doesn't take advantage of you.
Yeah, but there's no incentive for us to find mold where there really isn't, or asbestos where there isn't. We're going to tell you what really exists, and then more than that, how to deal with it. Okay, which I think is kind of unique. A lot of companies don't do that.
What area do you cover?
Cover all of Georgia, so anywhere that I think you all cover, we would be there.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah. But we cover the surrounding states, and as I said, we go.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What are some of the costs of your services, for example, testing radon?
So it depends on the location, but I'll let Connor speak to that because he knows the numbers better than I do on radon.
It's usually right around $250 in that ballpark. We do it for the short-term radon testing in 48 hours.
Good.
Do you have lockbox keys?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
We need the CBS code, but
How about on mold testing?
price-wise, it's right around the same price for the inspections, about $250, and then it's $75 per sample we take, and generally 3,000 square foot home, we take about 4 samples. So total is right around $500.
50%?
75.
75. And we will go to what you require or request. So if it's you want to test one room and it only requires one indoor sample and one outdoor sample, then that's all we'll do. We try to do an in-depth interview with the client to make sure we're going to do exactly what they would like us to do. Great.
What's your turnaround time? And you said you deal within our due diligence period. So typically if we call you and say, hey, we have somebody we need to get a mold tested.
We can usually get it done and get you the report back within 4 days. It takes 48 hours to get the lab results back, but just mention your realtor, you're under due diligence, and we can speed it up as much as possible. And then stucco inspections we can usually get you the report the day after we do the inspection.
So they called you on a Monday. You'd be out there by?
Generally, we can get out there that Tuesday, Wednesday, and if you say you're in a huge hurry, we sometimes get out there that Monday.
Okay.
We have a team, so.
But a typical 24, 48 hours?
Probably 48 hours,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you let us know if you've got something that's dire, we'll bend over backwards to accommodate you. Okay? Yep.
How much is a stucco inspection?
That depends on the size of the house and how many sides of the house for stucco. Usually right around $400. I mean, if it's smaller, if it's just the front of the house that's stucco, a little under 300. But
A big house, 4 sides.
How big? We're talking 3,000.
4,000
square feet. Yeah.
Probably $500, $600.
You do samples or infrared, or what's your
We don't do
methodology?
sampling, we do probing, so we'll probe the substrate, make sure the substrate doesn't work. And in the stucco inspections, we'll write up a scope of work as well, so that you can hand to a stucco repair contractor, and they can usually give you a quote based off of our report.
So our inspectors will take lots of pictures. Our report is comprehensive. It tells you in detail, cracks, dents, bumps, anything that we see that could be a potential problem, and then how to deal with it.
Okay, well, these are kind of the big three in our business, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks for breakfast and thanks for being a vendor here, and
thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
One last question. Do y'all do a taste test for asbestos? Or?
We don't do the taste test.
We can do bourbon taste testing.
Yeah.
Bourbon, we might be there for that.
Oh, yeah, why don't you guys come to that?
Yeah,
Can you come on April 11th?
I'm sure we could be
Come
there for
here,
that.
join us.
Yeah, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
We can call you
Special
48
bottle just
hours
for you.
ahead.
Okay, so
Hank's feeling better.
yes, he is. All right, so let's continue. Last week we were talking about what gets listings sold, correct? And last week we kind of went in detail about price. Definitely, of all the things, pricing a listing correctly is probably your number one thing that will get it sold, and we have to have expertise in getting that right. We talked about 3 prices, kind of a worry price, this is a market price or we're above market. We also talked about condition, which I think is extremely important, how we prepare a house and a seller to be in the best position. The best agents, the people that sell a lot of listings, are very good at providing convincing evidence to the seller that these things need to be done to get your home sold. So let's talk a little bit more. We didn't even talk about it. Let's talk about marketing, okay? Which I think is a key. And great agents are great marketers. So there's multiple areas of how we market a listing. One would be to, and this is probably overlooked, but it's a pretty powerful part of this, is to other agents. So, how do you do that? Bill, Jim, Ernie?
Caravan.
Caravan, so you're talking to the seller and you've been brought in and you know there's two agents competing for this listing. So, Ernie, or all of you, you're all the agent. What's your marketing plan to get my listing sold better than any other agent? Okay? Caravan?
Broker open house.
What?
Broker open house. Social media. Like a broker happy hour with wine and cheese.
Okay.
It's gonna be old fashioned. You can call the dominant agents.
Okay, what else?
Post on the Rawls group, Facebook.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Social media.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay, but
marketing to the Rawls group is.
What I'm trying to get at is this is kind of a standard. These are kind of standards, right? That every agent's going to be saying.
What differentiates us?
Right. Is there anything that you do that once you say it, people know this guy's different? Bob Facella's different. This is not the typical stuff, and I'm convinced that this will make the difference. Is there anything you do intentionally in your marketing to agents? To agents.
High
Bill.
commission.
To agents.
This is
Yeah,
just your
yeah,
strategy.
yeah.
What do you do?
What do? You go in and you once you have that listing inputted into Matrix, our FMLS, you can do a reverse prospect list and very quickly email those agents that have set up searches with buyers that meet the criteria that your listing falls under.
Okay.
You can reference that. You don't see a lot of agents doing it, but it's a no-brainer, and I think that's really effective.
Sure it is. What else?
This takes a while, but I think reputation is really important. There are agents, signs that I'll see, and I just want to boycott that listing. And there are other agents, and I'll see their sign, and I think, this is going to be a good listing, because I know this agent, she's done the work to get it up to par. So, reputation.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. Every day we should be doing things that further our reputation as opposed to deter from it. I mean, you know, someone walked in my office yesterday, our agent, but I don't care what anyone says to you. I don't care what words they use. Just never hang up on them. I mean, there's just a million things that you do that don't help your reputation. You know, there's just one of them. You hung up on them. What else?
Just, during the listing period, reaching out to competing listing agents that are competitive to yours and pinging them to find out how it's going with them. They appreciate it. But at that point in time, you can, create goodwill and offer to preview and hopefully show their listing, but ask them to come out and see yours. Because they may have buyers that call them interested in their listing, and that isn't a good fit, and yours might be perfect. So you want to be top of mind with these other competing nearby listings. That should go on the list, I think, on the paper.
You look like that. What'd you say? I didn't hear the end. What'd you say? I didn't hear the end.
They said it should go on the sheet.
You thought it was that good.
Bill's idea.
Very good idea. Marco, you look like you were say something, were you or not?
I could say something.
Okay. You don't have to.
No, I was thinking about it, and what I did one time on a listing that sort of helped just kind of get more insight on the neighborhood is call the agents around in that community that have sold and just kind of ask them some questions on what they think sold the houses that they listed. because you never know
Right.
what's going on in that neighborhood. I think one agent told me that they posted the home in the Facebook community page of that neighborhood, which is sort of like an open house tactic, but it worked really well because everybody in that community instantly knew about that house being on the market before it went on the market. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
So you realize that you get listings because people are convinced you're actually better, right? So, I mean, that's a brilliant one right there. I mean, do any of you ever, either in the neighborhood, if it's big enough, Dunwoody Club, or if it's not, let's just say the elementary, go back 6 months or a year and find out every agent that's had a buyer there, right?
I said that in the beginning.
You did?
I call everybody who's already sold that area or listed that area because they're already sold on the area. They want to put someone there.
Right.
So they just need a house.
Right. Good. Anything else? I think it's pretty
You're under the premise that we're at a listing appointment. We're telling the sellers what we do better.
Well, this is.
Well,
this
I was
is
just
my-
going to say
Right.
that I would bring in.
No, no.
There's a couple of Dunwoody.
Three different areas I'm going to talk about.
Well,
But this is with the agent population.
It has to do with marketing.
Okay.
You bring in the FMLS sheet from here in Dunwoody. We have a couple of agents that have on their private notes in the FM private remarks will say, if I show your house first, your commission will only be 1%. I will bring that into a listing and say, look, this is how some other agents that are that have too much business, they're going to discourage people from showing your house. I will tell you right now, if someone wants to see your house and their agent can't show you, I'll show up to show them.
Yeah, what was that thing we talked about at our meeting, the one agent had in there, just send smoke screens?
I posted that on.
Yeah.
I posted that on Facebook. It says send smoke signals, text, call, whatever it is. Let's just sell the house.
Yeah.
Sell the house. That's true.
Right. So.
And that's somebody you want to work with too.
Right.
The agent Bob's referring to, you already have an adversarial relationship.
Right, you're already fighting
So
for
if
you.
you put that in, it does discourage agents from wanting to work with you.
Right. Right. There we go. All right, these are good ones. Let's move over. So how you, again, in the same meeting, how do you market to just the general public? What's your marketing plan to this seller? And let me go back up. So I would, if it was me, I would attempt to find a way to make my seller aware that I've done these things. Okay? I mean, it's great. You know, a lot of times our sellers are kind of like, I mean, that's why we call once a week, that we're actually doing stuff. Find a way to include them so you could say, hey, I just posted this on Facebook, go check it out. Okay? Or I've contacted all these agents. I mean, find proof of that. I mean, if they're in email form, find proof of that. Okay? It's nice to promise us stuff, but actually prove to them you did it. Okay, that's a key piece of this. Yes.
I have purchased a URL from GoDaddy with their address on it, so that when people Google their address, you hook it up to the KW website, so it takes them to the KW website.
Right.
But it's an easy thing to do. It makes them think that you have gone above and beyond, and you've created a website for them with their address. And
how much that cost?
99 cents.
There you go. Right.
And to take
For a
those,
year.
Yeah. We do that too, but we also, and there's different levels of procurement and purchasing, but a specific property website. We use agentmarketing.com, and for $20 you can buy a website for that particular listing that is extremely robust, has HD tours, translates into languages, Craigslist posters, Facebook integration, text to phone, all kinds of stuff. So that's $20, and you show that, and it's a dynamite product.
Right.
And, I mean, $20.
What was it called, Phil? Okay.
Agent marketing is the one we use, and there's a variety of different templates, per house, per listing.
So certainty through list reports.
They do something similar.
They'll do it for free. They'll give
It's
you.
created automatically.
Well, list reports is.
Right.
It's for a free service, yeah. So it does that also, and it gives you a website.
So maybe even stronger presentation saying this is what I do.
For
You could bring your laptop and go, here's a current listing I have, right?
Yep.
Okay. To the general public, how do you market? Okay, so that's realize this is a three-piece thing. It's more convincing the more of this you're going to give to the seller and they believe it. And they're wowed by it. So to the general public, how are you going to
Print.
Kevin's got the two fingers.
Classified as in the.
Everyone else raises their hand like this, Kevin. Since he was a kid.
At least it's not one finger.
All right.
Basketball reference. But
There we go. There you go.
Now, it's to me, it's critical to audit your listings and go on Zillow, go on Trulia, go on Realtor.com, and look how they're presented, because that's what they're looking at. And how many times have I called from the seller going, how come on Zillow this isn't showing up? How come on this website this isn't showing up? And there's some extra features and like Zillow that you can add. And like I always add let the homeowner why I love this home. It's a great feature that FMLS doesn't have.
Ah, I didn't know that, thank you.
Right. It is true. I think it's none of us check this stuff. I mean, I think some of us don't even check our own voicemail what it sounds like. Seriously. I mean, I call people that's like, I mean, this, you realize like you sound completely like your dog just got hit by a car. No, but I mean, don't you want like there's energy and hey, you know, like
nice.
Right. No one checks this stuff. Okay, what else? What's your plan? How are you gonna let the public know about this? Tell the seller.
Great signage.
What does that mean?
Well, at the house, you need to have a great presence. First of all, that it's not some sign tucked away. Personally, I think
a bright sign.
You got to put a post up.
Yeah, make the line look good.
And then second.
Yeah, I mean, someone said that, but it's a minor point. But pretty much somewhere between 91 and 89 degrees. I mean, what do you think of a listing agent when you drive by and the things, right? What's your sellers thinking of you? Right. So let's either, most of us let's hire someone that knows we need to put it more than 2 inches below the ground so it will stay up straight. What else?
But you got to have the breadcrumbs to get there. You can't just put it back, you're in the back of the subdivision, put a sign out in the front of the road, and then just hope that they get back there.
I mean, that's hard, because there's a lot of HOAs that are removing signs now. Yeah, signs out.
Right.
You know, you just keep spending the money putting signs out, it's hard. So what does other people do to direct people down when I have HOA and everybody takes all the signs out?
I'll put one out, and it's the cost of doing business. If anything gets stolen, I don't replace it, but I always ask the homeowner that I'm putting it on their property, get their permission. I think if you don't do that, that's
But that's
tacky.
another touch.
It is another touch.
When you knock on their door and say, do you mind if I put this on your lot? I have a new listing down the street. Oh, who's selling? Well, John and Joe Smith. Do you know anybody else in here that's thinking about selling? What about you? Do you know anybody who wants to move into the neighborhood? You could choose your own neighbor.
Then you send them a
And
thank
what
you.
about you? When are you going to list? Here's my card.
And when we do that, we also give them a Starbucks card.
Yeah. You send them a note.
It's probably the easiest way to get a real client. Okay, I mean, how many out of 10? Probably 1 out of 20 knock on their door to say, can I put a directional to your yard? Right? So they already, thank you. I don't mind it, just ask me, right? And then you can follow up and go, hey, it's just awesome that you allow me to put your sign and then Starbucks card. I think you're going to stand out. What else?
I do a stuff a mailbox in and around the listing. It says, basically it's a form letter, but it says, it's not often you get an opportunity to choose your neighbor. But I've listed your home, I've listed your neighbor's home on such and such an address, and I'll be holding open houses, and a lot of those people will come in, and then you get a
Put
chance
that in
to
their
talk.
mailboxes?
Huh?
You put that in their mailboxes?
Just put it in the neighborhood mailboxes, yeah. I know you're not supposed to.
Yeah, don't go there. Right?
I've always put stuff in mailboxes.
Nobody said
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know anyone in deep prison for
federal government.
What are you in for? Double murder. How about you? Stop in Melbourne. I did prison ministry. I didn't hear of anyone. Okay, so I mean, there's 7 million people here. What do you do intentionally? You're telling the seller that they're going to be aware of your listing.
So what Hank was saying about the open houses, so I asked everybody at the open house how they heard about that listing, and you think that they just drive by to see the balloons or whatever, but nowadays a lot of people are out there on the weekends and they've got their phones in their hands and they're looking at open house apps or something to do with an open house.
Right.
That is one of the biggest things, because MLS is MLS. They could go on else, but if they're on an open house app or they're on the Realtor app and they're looking at open houses,
right?
That's a whole different,
So what's the main ones? Or what's the main ones, Marco?
Where you posting? Where you posting to get there?
Well, I mean, when you put your listing in MLS.
Yeah, it has an open house picture.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that you do the necessary things to add your house to the open house in MLS, and then it'll transition to the Zillows and the Realtors, WLS, and just make sure that it's in there.
Yeah.
Once it's in there, it's out. And if you do it on a Wednesday or something before the Sunday open house, 3 or 4 days before, everybody's on their phones, and I find that a lot of people are coming to the house just saying, I found it on my app or on Realtor.com. So I think that's, for the open house, that's pretty big.
Yep. It's probably way underutilized. What else? I mean, there's 7 million people. What's your plan?
If you can, and I just figured this out, you can go into Facebook and there's boosting, but you can go in, and even more so, it's different from what I understand, because I've created audiences. But if you've got a house that's like a ranch, 0 entry, you can go in there and profile an audience of people of certain ages that have retirement discussions in their posts, that are certain affluence, as far as their income. You can dial it in pretty tight and limit the budget that you're spending on a daily basis, and just put a flyer out there, and it comes out as an ad on their Facebook feed, and it's pretty amazing how cost effective it is and how far reaching it is, because you can do a radius from the house itself. It's pretty crazy
You
stuff.
really do that off of a business page though, right?
Yeah, you would do it off of a business page.
Yeah. What's your results on that? What do you get? Do you get results on it?
You get lots of
I
results.
spent $40. I'm sorry, Bill. I spent $40 on my listing, my own listing. 5,000 views on Facebook, $40 over 5 days. 5,000 views, and then it translates back to your business page, where people are now liking your business page because they're seeing it.
They might not buy that house, but you've now hooked them.
19 hours.
They're looking at you.
Very good.
And if you do a video, that's and make that part of your post, that's gonna shoot the numbers through the roof. You can, instead of doing $40, you can do 20 and 20 and split test it with it's really amazing what you can do with that resource that's out there for a limited amount of investment.
Do any of y'all use Waze?
Yes.
Because you can advertise on Waze for your listings and your open houses on Waze, so it'll show up on your phone like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, that's good.
It's like $99.
So you know how many people are out in this beautiful weather driving around on the weekends using their whatever
How much does it
GPS.
cost?
I'm not sure what the pricing is. It's Waze, W-A-Z-E. It's the app. I don't know what the pricing is.
It's about $99.
85 is 100% gridlock. Take Holcomb Bridge to the right, and by the way,
There's
go
a
buy
listing
Michelle's
in there.
listing while you're.
And it only comes up when you stop. Those ads don't come up when you're driving. I don't know how many of you use Waze.
Yeah.
Right, it have to be stopped, because otherwise.
So
A lot of
when
people
they're
use
close,
Waze.
Yeah, I use Waze.
So how much is it? Is $99 for the year or
I think it's per
per?
ad.
listing app.
I think it runs for like 30 days.
Yeah, so that might be, just another option.
I mean, you have 47,000 Wazers at one time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna depend on the location of where the house
It works better
is.
if you're like on a main street like Canton.
Right.
Because you got lots of traffic lights just stopping you.
Yes.
All right, real quick. I mean, this is kind of tied, but just internet. What's your internet marketing strategy to the seller? Do you present one?
Yeah.
I think you have to.
That's the most important.
Right? So what is it? Let me, what do you say?
I just show them how I have a professional photographer, and I show them examples of her work, which is just excellent. And I said, this is the most important thing. Get your house ready, we're going to price it right, and then we're going to present it on the internet, and this is how everybody finds your house.
Yeah, input.
It's the
The way
most
you input,
important
you know,
thing.
the details you use, and for those people out there that are now putting GPS in directions, you're making a huge mistake.
And it's a violation.
Yeah. Because I oftentimes, I'll see it come up in mine, and like I'll pull it up on an app or what, or on the, it's like GPS. I'm like, now where is it? I mean, in Dunwoody, I forget like where a street is. I lived here for 35 years.
Yes.
And it says, oh, go to GPS. Well, you know, if you would have told me that it's off Mount Vernon Way, that would have been a lot more helpful than to say, go GPS. I can figure that out. So don't do that.
That's that's just lazy.
Lazy.
Right. Right.
Lazy.
All the time. I think I mean, a lot of people still, I know we're internet based, but a lot of people, I'm showing these 5 houses, I'm going to look, I printed those 5 out, and they're in order, and all I got to do is just lean over and go directions. There's no directions. Right. All you got to see is the word, you know where you are, right? Okay, what else? I mean, what do you tell the seller? Right.
Well, so as far as creating a situation where the easiest thing for a seller to be told is by another seller. So our previous sellers, the people that we've sold their homes, we'll ask them, said, okay, if I'm working with another seller, are you okay if that person calls you to confirm how we did for you? And that, the credibility factor just goes through the roof.
Wow. Okay. Does anyone, I mean, I know we have a page that shows all the sites that we're linked to. Internet sites, like when your listing goes in, does anyone show that?
Yes.
Yes?
That's in my listing presentation.
Okay, why didn't you say that?
I was just waiting, people were still talking.
Okay, all right. Waiting for the right moment. Anything else?
Next door,
Bill.
there's the next door website.
Okay.
That's what Marco was
If
talking
you've
about.
got a luxury listing and you want to really wow somebody, write this web address down. It's luxvt, luxvt.com. They've got a, it's like a property website where they do this flyover, and when you participate, it gets advertised in the Wall Street Journal, Robb Report, New York Times, all on the classified advertising online, not the print. And it's a pay when it closes, only if it closes situation. It's quite expensive, but for a high price listing, I think it's $1,200 at closing. But it's, you know, you've got, you know, high net sellers have high expectations, and they want to see you marketing their homes, and this is one way to do it.
Innovative.
It's very, it's a very cool program for luxury listings. Lux VT.
VT, not BT.
Like virtual tour.
There we go. Sorry. All right, anything else? All right, so we really need to think through this. Part of getting a listing and getting it sold is convincing the public and your seller all these things about our ability. And the hardest part, which we talked about last week, was just really agent to agent. As far as your communication, it's hard to tell a seller, I'm urgent, you can get me all the time. I mean, all you can do is just give evidence of that. So you were referred to me by Katie. When you called, how quick did I call back? Under 5 minutes? There you go. And explain why that's important in this business, that a lot of agents don't do that, or someone's at the curb, can I show it? They don't call back for 3 hours, they're already gone. So we've talked about pricing. I think all our presentation is pricing. It's proving our pictures and the way we're presenting this is superior to other people. Our marketing is superior, and our agent to agent's superior. If you do that, I think your chances are great you're going to get the listing. But you got to think through it. You're an internet genius. Anything? What do you think? How do you put it out there better?
I mean, there are a lot of ways to do it, but I mean, Facebook, using Facebook is certainly works, but it's a little bit more difficult than just boosting a post.
Yeah, you can go in and do it in Instagram, and it'll all auto post to Facebook too.
Good. Need to always be thinking about this. Okay, this is the key.
Oh, here are 5 fingers.
You know, you were talking about the slides to show. The other slide that I think is critical is where you show that Keller Williams is #1 selling to Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And how this Facebook page is a direct correlation to making that happen.
Right, y'all know what he's talking about? So we all get monthly and quarterly the Rawls Group slides, 100 slides. There's one that shows the percentage of the company that sells their own listings, and we're like 25, 30%. And the next is like what, 9 or 10? Right. That's a key point. Key point. All right, good chat. Very good chat here. Important topic. All right, let's move on. So profit share. We're a profit sharing company. Every month we give away 48% of our profits to agents. That comes out on the 21st of the month. If you have received it, if you looked at your bank account, it would just appear in there. Anyone can get profit share. If you're interested in how to do this, come see me. I'll talk to you for 30 minutes about it. It's a favorite topic of mine. But we're here to wealth build, all of us. We have an investment club, which we're talking about investing in real estate properties to get a passive income. We're all shooting to build a business big enough, bigger than what we need to live, so we have excess money to invest in vehicles that kick off passive income, that now all of a sudden money's coming in without us working. And if we can get to a level that's above our standard of living, we no longer have to work if we choose not to, and that's a pretty nice thing that we all should be shooting for. So profit share is a cool piece of this. No investment, no risk, no management. So these people for the month of February, in March 21st, received 1 to 100. Debbie Crawford, Rob Carino, Dave Thomas, Randy Lip, Joel Perkins, Osei Anam, Eddie Levin, Maya Sly, Joe Cannon, Aaron Cottrell, Deion Stokes Hicks, Connie Martin. Congratulations. 100 to 200. Kelly Coker Gibbons, Rachel Sweeting, Deb Martino. 200 to 500. Ernie Hartfield, Doug Alexander, Tosh McGraves, MJ Thomas, Denany, Rashard, Arnold, Lynn LaCroix, Becky Wynn Evans, Clax Underwood, Rashonda Coleman, Michelle Morales, Quinn Moore, Rebecca Constantine, Felicia Adams, Catherine Ciccini, Michael Martino, and Beth Hazy. Congratulations. 500 to 1,000, getting pretty good here. Marianne Payne, Jessica Schulte, Trish Alexander, Dan Bangs, Rosia Fausto, R.J. McCarty, Apriya Brown, Denise Britti, John Damiano, and Amisha Mason. Congratulations. 1,000 to 2,000. Diana Bauer, she's regularly over 1,000. Pretty cool. Gene Bramlett, Arden Feynman. Wow. Big money, 2 to 5. Cynthia Pierce and Bill House. Congratulations. If you're interested in how this can work for you, come see me. We'll set up some time. All right. Cheery, are you? There we go. Oh, there we go. Allison. Certainty Home Loans.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sherry Levin, Allison Eloquin, Certainty Home Loans. So this Thursday, from 4 to 5 is Party with McCarty. I did not title it, but I'm going with it. How to throw a killer client appreciation party is the topic. So any budget, right?
Any budget?
Any budget. Hello. And, please come. You can actually make it your own client appreciation party and bring a client.
Well, you cannot bring a client.
No, you can't. Forget that. We're sponsoring it, wine and cheese, just for an hour. Come by for as much time as you can, and we'd love to have you.
Great.
Yeah. When we talk about rates?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very conservative when I talk about rates, but I'm going to go for it. If you got somebody looking to lock today, tomorrow, have them shop, because rates have really dropped the past day, 2 days. Okay, conventional 4 1/8. Might be able to squeeze out a 4.
Yeah.
Call us. Just call us. There's no obligation.
Texting my clients.
You don't, you don't have to use us, even if we take a loan app.
Is that
Even if we
30-year
pull
fixed?
credit. Yep. That's a conventional fix. That's assuming 740 or above.
Term?
740 or above FICO score. 30-year fix. It's a 30-day lock. FHA, 3.75. I may get fired today, so haven't locked them in today because I
So call us today because we don't.
I priced it this morning, so I can definitely do that. We can both do that.
Yeah.
We are about hand holding. You've got a first-time home buyer. Let us talk to them. If you've got a meeting with a client, potential client, let us know. We will sit in on the meeting.
If it's here in the office, come grab us. We're happy to, jump in, pop in, talk for 5-10 minutes, and get them pre-qualified on the spot, answer any questions, concerns that they may have. But yeah, use us to your advantage. Last thing, all these open houses, spring is a great time for open houses. If you're hosting them or if you're an agent hosting them for another agent, either way, call us. We are more than happy to come hang out with you if you just want some company. I may show up with some coffee. I don't know, but it's always nice to have some company. And again, we can pre-qualify some people on the spot, help out, just be there to give you guys some support. We'd love to help you guys. So
that's it. Thank you.
Great.
Y'all didn't report in. Do you know the standings of the?
I'm in second place. That's all I know.
So, guys here should be hiding your heads, myself included. I think currently, through the first week, it's like all.
I can't see it.
Go down. Go down. Go down. Down.
Ooh, what's that?
Down.
That's
The other way.
Two
Down.
more.
Down. Down.
I'm working on
That's up.
patience.
A little more.
Dylan Burns, number 1. Are you kidding me? Allison, 2. Gail, 3. Rachel Sweeting, 3. She doesn't even know what a basketball is. There is a theory, I guess, to the prettier colored jerseys, or like I guess a bulldog could eat a bird, so I'll pick them. Hey, guys. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed personally, but it's early, so we'll see what happens. But good job there.
Thanks.
Good job. All right, here we go.
I didn't play for 10 years, so
All right, so it appears she's ready. She's texting. So I'd like to. Do y'all phones come up at the end of the week? Say how many hours you were on your phone?
Yeah.
What does yours say? Is yours over 18?
No. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Dillon
Hi.
with Ganic PC, one of the owners, and I manage the Ashford Dunwoody office. So today, I'm going to talk about wires and the fact that I have no way to predict how long a wire is going to take to land somewhere. We have a lot of people closing this Friday at the end of the month. They're closing in the afternoon. Seller closing at 3 o'clock is insisting that he get his wire in his account that day. I cannot guarantee that.
Especially at the end of the day.
Especially at the end of the day. So, talk to your sellers. If they need the money for some reason, or if they are just going to be really picky about, when the money hits their account. Because when we consider something closed and funded, when I can give the money out, not when the money hits their account. Some sellers are a little confused about that. They think it's when they actually have it. So, talk to your sellers. At least set expectations for them. If they're closing at 4 o'clock on a Friday, we will get the wire out if we fund on time and if we fund before 5:30 and we can initiate it. But there's no guarantee that that wire is going to hit into their account. Last day of the month, especially when it's on a Friday, the Fed is really, really busy. It's a big payroll day. They process a lot of wires all over the country. So just talk to your sellers. Same thing on the buyer side. If your buyer is closing at 10 a.m. this Friday, they need to make sure that they're wiring their money on Thursday. The wires just take a lot longer to process end of the month, especially if it's a Friday. We've had it come up a lot this week with sellers being concerned about their money. So just know that if I can predict the time it took to receive a wire, I would not be here. I'd be on my private island somewhere in the Bahamas predicting wires. They can get hung up at the Fed too. We've had wires that are held by the Fed because the person's name was similar to that of a money launderer, drug lord, terrorist. So, there's all kinds of things that can happen with the wire. So just set expectations with your clients that there's no set time a wire takes. I always tell people a wire can take 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 24 hours. So if they have any questions, they can talk to us about it. We talk to people about wiring money all the time. But just keep that in mind, especially for end of the month Fridays like this month.
So last week of the month, or let's say last day of the month, are you safe if your buyer wires it the day before or not necessarily?
Yes. Yeah. If they wire it the day before, we should definitely have it,
For 10 o'clock?
For 10 o'clock. I mean, if they wire it at 4 o'clock, maybe dicey. I always tell buyers to go into the branch, to stand there, get confirmation that the money has left their account, not just Wells Fargo is notorious for handing them the wire form that makes it look like the wire has gone out, and they're just throwing it in a basket and it's sitting there for hours and hours and not being sent out. So the best way to tell that your wire's gone out is to check your account and make sure your money's gone. Yes?
Naive question. This is the first time I'm going to have it where the seller and buyer want to close on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to sell first in the morning, and then we need the funds wired for the buy.
Yeah.
Do you do a...
Yeah, I mean, on those, especially if it's like end of the month, you should. I mean, it's probably too late now, but try to schedule them at the same office, because then the money there's nowhere for the money to go. It just transfers from file to file. So if it's going to be that close, try to schedule it at the same office. If not, just if not, just give it a few hours. We send sellers all the time to go start their purchase at the other office and just tell them, look, as soon as we get it funded, we know that we need to send it. You need to make sure the attorney knows that they need that money by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and we will get the money sent out as soon as possible. And they may just be waiting on their funds.
You're going to be the second closing, so we recommended you for this one.
Okay, so we'll just wait. So just make sure whoever the first closing is, that attorney knows that they need that money for a later closing. Because we all get busy at the end of the month. You want to make sure that wire is a priority to get sent out. If somebody tells me that, I literally hand out checks and copies and walk out of the room and go get the wire sent. So just make sure the attorney knows that, and just let your buyers know. Sometimes you have to leave that sale and it hasn't funded yet, but everyone's going to work to get the money over for their purchase. And it happens all the time. Okay. We're used to it. Your clients may not be. Any other questions? Wire is such a favorite topic. All right, thank you guys. We were really busy at the end of this month. A lot of it is due to you. Thank you so much for all of your business. We really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing a lot of you in the next few days. Thank you.
Again, just one more thing on your closing checklist. Last week we talked about earnest money, so day before closing, is my earnest money less or more than my commission? That should be a final item. This should be another one too. Just advising my client, especially my seller, that if we're closing in the afternoon, just want to make sure you're aware your funds might not hit that day, and making sure that's good, right? Okay, we're at 11. Stacy. Yes. New agents, who do we got?
We have 4 of our new agents in the room today. First one to introduce Rebecca Woods. Good. She is. I want to also introduce Travis Mitchell. Dolores Voorhees. And Dawn Thomas. Thank you.
Classes?
Welcome.
Classes coming up.
Do what?
After this class, we have a Cloud CMA, free 3-hour CE. So even if you haven't registered, you can still come. We'll squeeze you in.
There we go, right after this. Okay, Listings Caravans, what do you got? Susan.
So I have a home that should be coming on the market in Huntley Hills. We're still trying to decide whether we do work to it or just sell it as is. It is a split level. It's 3 bedrooms up, 1 on the lower level, 2 full baths. Great backyard, great screen and porch. Probably gonna be listing around 4 1/4 if we don't do a whole lot of work, but if we do the work, it's probably gonna be 485. And the work would be brand new kitchen, new floors, whole paint job, and moving the laundry to the kitchen area.
Just amazing. I mean, I got the business in 1988. Huntley Hills was like 60,000. You know, it's unbelievable. That's a great neighborhood though. Huge neighborhood's got swim tennis. Go ahead.
I have a second one up at Willow Springs in Roswell. It's on the 13th hole golf course. It is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. Again, 2 prices. One will be at 4 1/4 as is. It just needs paint and some updating. And the other price would be probably closer to 485 again. Once we redo all the painting, some flooring in the basement, some ceiling stuff and things like that. So if you know somebody looking, you know, we're happy to take an offer and kind of see where we go.
Louise?
I have a really cute condo coming on the market in Buckhead. It's right off of Roswell Road. It's called Wellington Buckhead. And it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's only going to be $185. They just got FHA approval this week. It's a sweet little place.
HOA?
HOA. Yes, there's an HOA. It's affordable, but I forget the number.
Are there rental restrictions on that?
I think there are. Yeah.
Do the homework.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of investors.
Because what?
There are a lot of investors.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Walking around.
Bob.
So I have a one coming in the market probably in mid-April in the Glen Abbey neighborhood in Alpharetta. 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, roughly about 5,000 to 5,500 square foot. Has a gourmet kitchen, finished bath, bar, workout room in the basement with the theater. Has a private pool in the back with like a kind of jacuzzi. So it's kind of very nice. The neighborhood, if you haven't been in Glen Abbey, has Olympic-sized swimming pool, clubhouse, newly renovated workout facility, as well as 11 tennis courts. So it's a great family neighborhood, tons of kids, and list price is probably going to be at $795.
Very good. Get out of Bob's way. He's going to run you over. He's only been in the business like 3 days. He's already had a closing, listing. He's on fire.
It's a nice neighborhood.
I have a full 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse in Alpharetta, going on the market at $245. I forget the subdivision. No garage, and a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom going on the market in Lawrenceville, newer built. 2013 built. No basement, going on the market at also at $247-ish by the end of the week.
Okay. Flash.
In Brook Farm, one we're getting ready, it's a 5, 3.5 on Little Brook. It'll be somewhere in the 5s. Another one we're getting.
Is it brick or stucco?
Brick. And then there's one off of Hart's Mill that we're trying to decide what to do. If you've got investors, it'll either be a rehab or a tear down. So just trying to, if anybody wants to see that, I can get you in.
Where is that?
What street? Hart's Mill, near Marist.
On Hart's Mill or off
Hart's
Hart's
Mill near Marist.
On it or off of it?
Off of it. It's not on Hart's Mill.
How much roughly?
He's deciding it'll be somewhere low 4s.
Pretty pricey.
Okay.
We have a townhome in Dunwoody Springs coming on next week. It's a 3-level, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, or 2 baths up. It's been updated master and bathrooms and kitchen. There is also a guest suite or great home office or what have you on the bottom level, which is a bedroom and bath down there. It'll be under 400. So let us know if you need to get in or not.
I've still got my ranch, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Somewhat of an open floor plan. I mean, you can flow from the renovated, updated kitchen into the sunroom off to the deck. If somebody's looking for master on the main, great neighborhood, great public schools. no HOA, $659.
Michigan.
I have a couple buyer needs. If you guys are taking any lower price point listings, I need anything in Cobb County with a 4-bedroom under. I need something under 250, 180, and 120. Don't laugh.
4 bedrooms?
Okay. Yeah, I need 4 bedrooms under those 3 price points for 3 different buyers. Anywhere in Cobb County or South Fulton. So if you happen to pick up something and your investor has something that he's flipping, I'd love to take a look at it.
Sure.
If you do have a house that you're listing that needs renovations, get with your favorite certainty loan officer and we will put a sign in the front yard promoting a renovation loan. Because a lot of people don't know it exists. Rolling in the renovation into the loan. I mean, it's perfect. So if you're not going to renovate, let's push that renovation loan for that property.
Beth.
I've got a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse in Atlanta. It's walking distance to the Holmes train station. It's in a gated community, as is at 145. Great for an investment or for some.
you have a mission.
Pardon?
Sorry. She said talk.
Oh.
Okay, Linda?
Thank you, Misha, for this conversation.
To Certainties, shout out to them. They have a VA renovation loan product that nobody else has. I've got a client that's going to be using that. So if you've never heard of that, they have it.
And all the fees and the contingency, you know, because you got to have some cushion in there, it's all rolled into the loan amount. Whereas an FHA or a conventional, you got to come out of pocket. So it really benefits the veteran.
Hey.
I was forgot to tell you, I've got a lot also down in Martin Street, 860 Martin Street. I think it's 0.11 acres. It's buildable down near the belt line, near the Georgia State Stadium. If there's any interest, let me know.
How much?
They're asking 109.
I'll talk to Rashawn.
And also, on the reno loan, can you refi and into a reno loan?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I have 6 acres in Tyrone with a modern farmhouse plans already developed. My client ended up buying in somewhere else. But 6 acres in Tyrone, custom modern farmhouse.
How much?
How much?
She's asking $150 for the land.
That's
And the house built out was about
I love Tyrone.
Okay.
There's no house.
I have 15 acres in Loganville off of Highway 78 near Rosebud. It's land ready to be developed. It's on a industrial cul-de-sac, and it's at $30,000 an acre.
Okay, tell the commercial guys. Anyone else? Okay, good meeting, good stuff. We got Cloud CMA after that. Put your bourbon, beer, and barbecue on your schedule for the 11th. Y'all have a good one.